At last, it is over. Now we must find Rhea.
Professor, brother, I have a letter. The Imperial General asked me to deliver this to my instructor.
Who is it from? Hurry up, Professor. Read it at once.
It is from Hubert. Though he has left this world, he's reaching out through that letter.
If you are reading this letter, that means I have perished.
Oh, I was about to
As
joke
Her
about it starting
Majesty
that way,
will
but it
never
literally
surrender
did.
to another, I can only assume she has fallen as well. It greatly pains me to think of this coming to pass. That said, as the survivors, I must ask you to settle certain affairs in our stead. You must destroy the threat that slithers in the dark.
That is, I think, the first time they're referred to, like, by that name in universe.
I am sure you must recall Monica and Tomas. Their allies yet live. They hold deep resentment against the children of the goddess and the people of the world. And they are biding their time until they can exact revenge.
Gee, I wonder who that reminds me of.
If left to their own devices, it is certain they will eventually bring unimaginable calamity and suffering to the world. I detected their sorcery when you took Fort Mercius. I have deduced the location of their stronghold, Shambhala. You will find its whereabouts enclosed.
So, that name is spoiled if you go to the sound test after beating the Blue Lions route, because that is the name of a song that's used when Edelgard transforms, so I already know the name of that place.
There is no question that they are the enemies of everyone in Fodlan. Do not allow yourselves to forget that.
And yet you allied with them.
Lastly, while I cannot say she is in good health, the Archbishop resides in a secret chamber in the Imperial Palace. I have shared the location of the entrance to that secret chamber with the person to whom I have entrusted this letter. I believe that Her Majesty will be victorious. Even still, I must plan for her defeat as well.
Ever the tactician, I see.
If you wish to lead this world, I challenge you to rise to the occasion and surpass my estimation of you. Such is your obligation as the victors. And the only fitting tribute to all that Lady Edelgard sacrificed.
What Hubert has written here, I cannot... No. I know it must be true. And if that is the case, then all else makes sense now. I must speak with Rhea. It seems our battle is not over just yet. Those who slither in the dark. We must kill every last one of them, or Fodlan will never again know peace.
Why does this game love having people steal Dimitri's line?
They are allies of Monica and Tomas, correct? The ones who were after my blood.
Yeah, why did they want her blood?
And also the ones who destroyed Fort Mercius with that mysterious light.
We shall discuss this more after we have rescued Rhea.
You have come to save me.
Okay. And we have the lyrical version of this song in the background. Suddenly CG, and also suddenly head-restless Rhea.
Is this a dream? I have longed to see you again. All this time. Is it truly you? Seteth, Flame, you are here as well. Thank you for supporting the Professor. And for rescuing me.
Rhea, I am overjoyed that you are unharmed. I could not stand losing another of our kind.
Another, so was his wife one of their kind too?
Yes. I am reminded of the past. Of reuniting in Enbar.
Yeah, we knew Flame was from here originally, but are you two?
It is truly nostalgic. I would love nothing more than to lose ourselves in memories of the old days, but I must tell you something, Rhea. We have received incredible news, albeit from the Empire. They have told us the identity of our enemy. Those who slither in the dark. It is time for us to stop hiding the truth about the goddess, the progenitor god. The truth about us.
Finally, yeah, I think this is still found out in the Golden Deer route, but this is the very reason why I played this route.
It is time for us to tell the people everything.
Those who slither in the dark.
I feel like you've known/fought them before.
We are told they despise the children of the goddess, as well as those who live above ground. They are planning something horrible.
Please, tell the professor everything about these vile people. There must be things that only you know.
I understand. Dear child, I will now tell you all that I know. It is true that there is a group of people who have slithered in the darkness and threatened the peace of Fodlan since ancient times. I am sure you have heard the stories of a man named Nemesis.
Yes, I think I know. I've kind of figured what he did at this point.
Nemesis, the king of liberation. The man who received the sword of the creator from the goddess and became a hero. However...
No, I get the feeling he killed the goddess for it and became a villain.
Nemesis was originally the leader of a group of bandits. He plundered the holy tomb and stole the remains of the progenitor god.
Yes! Okay, this reveal is on this route. Oh, dang it, now I'm annoyed that I spoiled myself on it because I thought it was only on Golden Deer. But yeah, so... Nemesis was a bandit. Yep, a bandit. A bandit is the big bad of a Fire Emblem game. Finally! It has come full circle. Barter the Beast would be proud.
When Nemesis appeared in Xanadu some time later, he already wielded the sword of the creator.
Yeah, what is Xanadu? What happened
Red
there?
Canyon. We journeyed there 5 years ago. Do you recall?
I do not know how Nemesis obtained the sword, or why he appeared in Xanadu, but he used that sword to massacre the people there, the children of the progenitor god. From their corpses he gained even more power, and brought war to Fodlan.
Why do I get the feeling that what you mean by that is the hero's relics were made out of their bones? Because the hero's relics are obviously dragon bones. Maybe the crest stones are like their hearts or something?
A mere bandit like Nemesis would not have been capable of anything so monstrous on his own.
I mean, of course not. This is a Fire Emblem game. Bandits rarely last past the very beginning.
It was surmised that someone was collaborating with Nemesis.
Oh.
There was a massive investigation to uncover who it was. But the truth was never discovered. I am now certain that his accomplices were those who slither in the
They were
dark.
accomplices of Nemesis, okay. Yeah, I was wondering, I thought Nemesis was their leader, but no. He was someone else.
And this time, they have utilized the Imperial Army to send Fodlan back into the flames of war.
Yeah, by telling Edelgard not the full story about the church and getting her to kind of go berserk against the church, and yeah, because they clearly don't like Rhea either, and the children of the goddess. Yeah, Edelgard, like, honestly, I kind of feel like maybe her racism does come from their lies in a way. Like, they must have turned her against Dragonkind somehow. So, yeah, like most Fire Emblem games, the Emperor was an unwitting pawn of an evil dark magic using cult.
So, Edelgard has made a temporary alliance with them in order to achieve her own aims.
So this is the thing that another thing that really, okay, this is going to be a separate video to the other one because I didn't expect this exposition dump to go on so long, but this is another thing that really bugs me about Edelgard. If she hates those who slither in the dark so much, like, why does she still side with them? I know that it's like, oh yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my ally, but like, she clearly hates them more than anyone else on the continent does. Like, Taled says to her face, I'm the one who experimented on you, basically. Like, they're the reason why, like, what happened to her happened. Like, they're the reason why her view of the world is the way it is. And she's like, I'm gonna side with you and help you, and then backstab you later when Rhea's dealt with. Like, and not even tell the people you exist, rather than uniting the people against you or something. It just feels weirdly hypocritical, and it's just like, that's another thing that I just can't really stand about Edelgard.
Professor, we must journey to Shambhala and stop them.
The other thing as well is that from what I've heard, so Hubert knows that the missile attack on the fort was they're doing. Apparently, I think on Crimson Flower that still happens. Correct me if I'm wrong about this, because I could easily be. I don't know. I've read stuff about that route. I've seen quite a bit of it, like, on YouTube videos, but some, of course, I haven't played the entire thing for myself. But I've heard that that happens on her route, and they know that those who slither in the dark were responsible, but Edelgard says the church did that because she feels like the people aren't ready to know about those who slither in the dark yet, and that they need to be focusing on taking down the church and Rhea. So wait a minute. You're lying about a recent history, but still, about a historical event because the people don't need to know. Isn't that exactly what you hate the church for? Like, can't you see the hypocrisy there? It's just like, ugh.
You must not allow Fodlan's bloody history, the Red Canyon tragedy, to repeat itself.
Yeah, I kind of figured to that effect, because back in Chapter 12 you said I wouldn't allow another Red Canyon to happen. Okay then. Save screen. I was hoping we'd get like a straight up flashback to the Red Canyon incident. I'm gonna have to keep going because I want to see if that cutscene continues.
Part 2. Silver Snow. Blue Sea Moon. The city without light.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what Shambhala looks like. I mean, I kind of vaguely have an idea, but...
Following Edelgard's defeat and Rhea's rescue, the Resistance Army discovers the existence of another adversary, a group operating behind the scenes within the Empire. To prevent disaster from befalling Fodlan, the Resistance Army heads for Shambhala, the enemy's stronghold.
I guess, yeah, like, those who slither in the dark are definitely a point of contention for a lot of people in this game, and I can kind of see why. They feel like more of a footnote on this route, and I'm presuming Golden Deer, than anything else. It's just like, yeah, we've beaten Edelgard. Oh wait, there are some other villains we need to clean up. It's like that thing with Izuka in Radiant Dawn, which I called Forgotten Villain Cleanup Duty. Okay. Now is not the time, I'm sorry. Come on, please more exposition about Fodlan's past.
The Empire has been defeated, and we have rescued Rhea. But still the flames of war burn on. We journey to Shambhala, where those who slither in the dark reside.
We know nothing of the place, or what we can expect to find there.
What Flame says is true. If we are to prevail, we must be prepared for any eventuality before we advance.
I will accompany you.
Oh, you're back in your original outfit.
What? No, that would be far too dangerous. Your long confinement weakened you greatly, did it not?
Those people have opposed us since ancient times. I wish to learn the truth about them for myself.
Oh, so you don't actually even know the truth about them yet. I thought she did.
I understand. I will not stop you, but please take care not to overexert yourself.
What? But she's been hiding away so long. She shouldn't just up and go somewhere scary. Trust me, it's a bad idea.
Bernadetta, hiding away seems a poor description for someone who is imprisoned.
We must be careful not to put undue stress on Lady Rhea.
If the going gets tough, we'll have to carry her on our backs and make a run for it.
You think you can carry her? Maybe someone else should do that part.
No matter what enemies are appearing, we will be protecting her. We will be winning. If we work together, I am certain all will be well.
The ones we are soon to face have eluded us for a long time. There is much to fear. We must all proceed with utmost caution, lest we fall prey to one of their traps.
Except we're gonna wait a month before fighting them, because, yeah. So, like, from this point on, I may as well show the monastery dialogue, because I'm sure everyone's reactions here are going to be totally new. Like, we never got past the invasion of Enbar on the Blue Lions route. And, wow, that's a lot of support conversations. I guess because we just did 2 chapters back to back, so of course there'd be a lot of them. Okay, then. There are deadlines on some of the A's? Huh. Oh, I'm guessing because that discusses things like the Empire, and we're kind of done with that right now. Because all of yours seem fine. All of yours seem fine. Yeah, there's a deadline on Petra and Ferdinand's A. That's really, really weird. Oh, hey, we're actually going to get Byla's birthday a second time before the end. Destroy Shambhala. Oh, the chapter title is still the same as it. Okay, yeah. So I have not seen this chapter, but I have seen that is the title of this chapter on the Golden Tier route, and that is like the most awesome chapter title of all time. I forgive them for the awkwardness that was conclusion of the Crossing Roads, which sounds kind of clumsy, but this chapter title is really, really awesome sounding. And I've heard that this chapter is incredibly fun too, so I'm really looking forward to that. But I get the feeling this might be our last time at the monastery. Supply run's still here. Okay, so like I said, let's actually go ahead and show the monastery this time, because people should have different reactions.
We won against the Imperial Army. I still can't believe it. But I guess we still have some enemies left. I'm not well informed, but I have plenty of fighting spirit.
I, generic swordmaster, will continue to aid you.
A mysterious organization, slithering in the dark of Fodlan, like something out of a midnight tale.
Yeah, I bet Lysithea and Alois are pretty scared right now.
It appears these fiends have infiltrated the deepest corners of the Empire.
Yeah, all those very, very pale-faced people with the name, like, Agarthan Soldier among the enemies. Didn't clue you in?
After the fall of Enbar, they've remained well concealed. That said, I would keep an eye on Edelgard's uncle, Lord Arundel. Something about him sits ill with me.
Yeah, at this point, I pretty much realize he's Talez. I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point. I don't think it's ever directly revealed, just implied, but it's kind of interesting because it means that on, I might have already said this, but on Azure Moon, you basically kill their leader without even realizing it. Dimitri actually got revenge on the one responsible for the tragedy of Dusk without even realizing it.
I thought the war would end with Edelgard's defeat, but that wasn't the case. This may be premature, but I'm feeling a little relieved. I have to consider what I'll do with myself, and where I'll go when this war is finally over. I don't have an answer yet. Let's make sure the next battle puts an end to this war. That way, we can all move forward.
Next battle probably won't, but the one after definitely will. I still have a theory as to what the final battle of this route is going to be.
Professor! My most heartfelt thanks and congratulations on Lady Rhea's safe return. With your magnificent achievements, maybe you'll join the ranks of the Saints one day. I'm sure when the monastery is rebuilt, they'll make a proper statue of you. All majestic and shiny and tall. Oh, I just know they will.
Well, they did in his paired ending with Hilda on the other routes. And in my headcanon, that statue depicts Byla's face. You know, the one from Chapter 6. I don't think you'll like that. Nope. But it's what he needs to hear.
We have succeeded in rescuing Lady Rhea, but Seteth's countenance remains clouded. When will peaceful days return to this monastery? That time feels so distant.
No.
Huh?
The Empire has broken in smithereens. Now it is possible for me to go back to Bridget, but I cannot choose that choice. The time is still too soon for that. We must be stopping the evil for everyone in Fodlan. We will be fighting until the end of it.
I cannot choose that choice. That's a good quote. That was a weird laugh.
Professor, as history proves, everything comes to an end eventually. I knew that all along, but it still came as a surprise. Those who slither in the dark. It's all so fascinating and strange. They must certainly have a long history of their own. And when they fall, that will come quickly too, don't you think? That almost sounded like a prophecy there. Am I spooking you yet?
Well, I mean, honestly, falling soon is kind of their thing. I mean, it happened to Kronya. It happened to Solon. Pretty sure we'll only fight Talez once before he dies.
I heard that Lady Rhea's back. But why hasn't she shown herself to everyone yet? Oh, she's convalescing. Fair enough. She was in captivity for a long time. I pray that she feels better soon.
I have this suspicion that things are not gonna end that happily for her, even on this route.
You there! So Lady Rhea was all right after all. Well done bringing her back safely. Finally, us true believers may breathe easy again. Simply magnificent. You're saying the fight isn't over yet?
And that's all.
Yes.
Hello.
We saved Rhea and the Empire has crumbled. The kingdom may as well be finished too.
So yeah, that is one downside of this route, and I think also Golden Deer, is that the kingdom gets pretty much completely destroyed, which means that, wow, yeah, the kingdom is like gone on every route besides Dimitri's, because obviously the kingdom's totally crushed on Edelgard's route.
The reasons for me to remain in Fodlan are fading. Of course, I've come this far. May as well see it through to the end.
Yes, we finally got Lady Rhea back from the Empire and fulfilled our mission. I wish we could afford for her to have a good long rest, but that just isn't possible.
I recognize that voice, but I'm not sure exactly what it is.
I've only ever done what I thought was just. I've got no regrets. But sometimes I do wonder if I've really done the right thing. Was all this really for the best? Sorry, thinking about the end of the war makes me reconsider all kinds of things. But it's not over yet, is it? I need to steel myself for the next battle.
A mysterious power threatening the very future of Fodlan? Certainly we cannot give it leeway. Right now, the Empire, the Kingdom, and even the Alliance no longer exist. There is only Fodlan, and Fodlan must fight together as one.
So yeah, that quote must be unique to this route.
There is simply no option but victory. The alternative is unthinkable. Perhaps I will have the opportunity to strike the decisive blow on the enemy commander. Oh, that would secure my place in history for certain.
No, I want him to do it. I mean, I can't really think of many other people on this route who really need to fight Talez. I mean, I obviously haven't been spoiled on it, but Talez is obviously going to be the boss of the next chapter. I mean, come on.
So, the moment we defeat 80, the nobles cozy up to the Alliance and Church. That lot really does think only of themselves and no one else. But then there's Count Burgles. He used to be Minister of Military Affairs. He sacrificed his own life so that all the soldiers and officers who fought could be given quarter. When I heard that, I don't know, that simple act of humanity, I couldn't help it. I burst into tears. You know Count Burgles is Caspar's father, right? I can't even imagine how Caspar must feel about it.
Well, we'll have to find him then. Yeah, it's kind of... Like, yeah, I did hear that he died off screen on certain routes.
The history of the Empire spans 1,185 years. And just like that, it ends.
Because Edelgard decided to take it all down with her.
But the Hresfelg legacy could live on. When Edelgard assumed power, there were no other rightful heirs. She said that whoever takes the throne next should do so by virtue of merit, not blood. And she truly meant what she said.
Just as long as that blood wasn't dragon blood.
At any rate, I feel that a huge hole has opened up in my heart. Who knows if it can ever be filled?
Why didn't they give him a boss conversation with her? He really should have had one. I've actually heard that his paired ending with Edelgard is the only one that actually describes her as having children too, so yeah. Like, I'd heard some people saying that, like, a lot of people like pairing him with Edelgard because he's one of the few people who's actually able to argue back with her rather than just being a yes man.
Wake up, eat, train, eat, sleep. We gotta prepare for the assault, but that hasn't changed my routine. All that training and eating I do is for the sake of Fodlan. Gotta stay strong and fed to keep it safe.
I like how he just changes his tone whenever the eating parts come in.
Professor?
Professor, I just got word from the opera company. I don't know if everyone survived, but it looks like they should be able to mount a revival. They even asked if I'd consider making a return to the stage someday. I suspect I may refuse, though. We're at the dawn of something new. No reason to look backwards, eh?
Plus, you've been pretty good as a teacher so far.
You there!
Yes, you there.
Thank you.
What do you have to say?
Professor, Lady Rhea's return has already been proclaimed to all the churches in all parts of Fodlan.
Including those jerks in the Western Church?
They are also being informed by order of Seteth that visitations are very restricted for the time being.
Oh boy, there's gonna be like so many people rushing to the monastery going, Rhea, you're back! We haven't been here in 5 years, I want to see you and give you presents!
It makes sense. Otherwise, pilgrims would come from all over Fodlan and overwhelm the monastery.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. I can hardly believe you managed to handle the capital city like that. Everyone did sterling work. I really thought we'd know peace after that battle. But we're not quite there yet, huh?
Well, at least we're fighting the one faction in this game that is, like, entirely blatantly evil. I mean, I kind of expected that Nemesis killed Sothis, but I didn't expect that he would have killed, like, all the dragons. Wow, that was... Yeah, I can see why Rhea was angry at him now.
Dedu saw to it that Edelgard was destroyed before he departed. His expression once his mission was over was a bit lonely. I don't know where he went off to after that. Maybe he returned home to Dusker.
Well, Dimitri is possibly alive, so maybe they met each other somewhere?
Our next opponent is an ally of Solon. Do you remember what Solon called us? That's right. He called us beasts. Meanwhile, he refers to himself as the savior. Who exactly is he saving?
You know, that conversation is weirdly fitting because on this route, Ignatz actually was the one to finish off Solon. Because Solon was an idiot, and like I was planning to get his special boss dialogue with Edelgard, but Solon decided to be a moron and walked up and attacked Ignatz and walked off his defensive terrain, and Ignatz doubled him and he died. So, yeah, that was kind of dumb, and I missed out on Edelgard's special boss dialogue with Solon. So if anyone knows that, please tell me.
He's dead. My father's dead. I'm okay though. Really, I was ready for it. He was a general in the Imperial Army, after all. Minister of Military Affairs. He gave his own life so the Empire's soldiers wouldn't have to lose theirs. That's a fight that only he could take on. He was such a tough guy. I fought side by side with you this whole time. But did I ever get any stronger? Will I ever be as strong as my father?
You don't have to compare yourself to other people.
Professor, these are Monica's people, aren't they? The ones who killed Captain Gerald. Then this is my real opportunity for revenge. There's no way I can back down from this one. No, I'm okay. Actually, I'm eager to get out there and fight. This is what I've been training for.
Yeah, I've heard she has special boss dialogue with Kronya, which makes sense, but I never tried to get that, weirdly enough. Oh, I don't think I'd actually recruited her by the time I played Chapter 11 on this route. That's Chapter 10 on this route, that's why.
With Edelgard gone, maybe Fodlan will finally find some peace.
You're out of your room.
That's all well and good, but she was also the one to put my father under house arrest. So now he's been released and he's taken charge of House Farley.
Really?
I can't handle it. I can't deal with him. Please, you have to do something. Thank you so much.
How about we, no, I've got a better idea. We exile him, but before we exile him, we tie him to a chair and, like, put him on a ship or something, and just have him locked in a room tied to a chair, like he did to you. Seriously, one of my hopes for DLC is that, we get to fight Bernadetta's father.
I thought that taking the Empire's capital would bring an end to this war. How naive of me. I'll have to write to my family and tell them I'll be gone a while longer.
Oh, Rhea isn't anywhere here. I thought she would be, so I could ask her more about things.
Professor, we rescued Lady Rhea. I can hardly express my joy. But now we know about a new foe who intends to bring her harm. In time, we'll realize the peaceful world that Lady Rhea has always hoped for. I'll have to keep that in mind when I'm fighting.
I like that you actually get some closure on rescuing Rhea on this route, unlike the Blue Lions route, where it's like, yay, we rescued Rhea, off-screen, and she abdicates, off-screen. And there's no closure for that at all.
You've done it. You did it. You crushed the Empire and rescued Lady Rhea. I'm sure the Captain is proud of you right now. As am I, of course. I'm as proud as if I'd done it myself. Sorry, I didn't mean to overdo it. We still have to deal with Monica's group. Those who killed the Captain. We'll knock them down so hard that they can't get back up.
I am so glad that Rhea is unharmed. My brother continues to worry about her, however. Of course, I am worried myself. I cannot imagine being in that situation while in such a state. I hope she will rest now, and leave it up to you and my brother to see things through.
Yeah, I wonder if Seth knows something. Because he's certainly been alive longer than Flame has. He probably knows stuff about dragons that she doesn't, so I'm kind of worried about things.
Those who slither in the dark. It seems we'll finally discover their true form. I get the sense that they're in league with the mages who experimented on me as a child.
Yeah, you have a very personal reason to go after them.
I wouldn't be surprised if Edelgard was subjected to them too.
Yes, and she knew that, and she's still allied with them.
There's no telling what their true motives are. But whatever their motives, what they have done is unforgivable. They must be exterminated.
Well, I'm normally not for exterminating people, as you would probably know, but like, these guys are completely, like, 100% blatantly evil, and they make no illusion of that at all, and they clearly want to kill all of us, so yeah.
Lady Rhea's back! Lady Rhea's back! I'm so happy! But things aren't gonna be like they used to be anytime soon, are they? There's still folks out there that want us all dead, and Lady Rhea still hasn't regained her strength yet. Speaking of which, Professor, please don't ask too much of her right now, okay?
So you're saying I shouldn't ask her to be a playable Manakete?
Fighting against enemies whose true nature is unknown is honestly really scary. Still, if there's a force in this world that clearly means us harm, we have no choice but to fight back. With our own hands, we'll safeguard Fodlan's future.
I really can't wait till this next chapter, but before then, we're gonna have to do some dining.
Everyone should sing louder.
I can't...
Well, time to get killed by Seth again. I've actually seen some really good fan art online of Seth actually hiding in the bushes during your tea time with Flame.
I am honored that you invited me. I am ever so grateful. So soothing. Right. Oh. Huh? Right. Huh? Right. That tea was very delicious. Please take care, Professor.
Take care that Seth doesn't tackle you on your way out. Ah, I have to buy those mana. Okay. Dang it. I wanted to try and make Ignat's Immortal Savon. You know, Enlightened One's all well and good, but considering that we just rescued Rhea, who totally isn't Seros, I feel like on this route, Byleth should follow the true traditions of Seros and try and become a grappler. Even though the outfit looks really weird.
I've set my sights higher.